Welcome back to It's New. We're back, at least some of us. Greg might be snowing. The snow is not going anywhere, so it's hard to get to work. It's hard to get around, and I blame Greg for not having a better car. That being said, Morty, what do you got for us?
Oh, don't be fooled by the traffic that we got. They're still going to block.
Oh, nice one. And if I was Greg, I'd be talking about Google's personal intelligence. It also has Frankenstein recipes. Anu, what do you got for us?
Google Ads API come out with new updates.
And I'll be talking about Microsoft's advertising revenue. Is it slowing? All right, whenever you're ready, Morty.
I am ready. So Barry Schwartz over at SERoundtable.com ran a poll. Yep, very good poll. And the results came back. You are not the father. It was a poll about recovering the other day. About whether or not publishers will block or are interested in blocking LLMs from coming to their website, stealing their content kind of thing. And 350 or so people replied back. And the responses were 33%, 33.2%. Yes, I would block Google. 41.9%. No, I would not block. Kind of like the Jets offensive line. And 24.9%. I am not sure yet.
That's kind of a right answer.
Like, it just shows the confusion among the industry, what people will do. I wonder if people will say, yes, I would block, whether they would actually do it when push came to shove. So, interesting.
Yeah. I was shared off the record some type of private poll of some of the top publishers on this. There's only like 60 responses when I saw it, but it was pretty similar to this. It was more like 33, 33. But it was very similar to this. And there's more like high-end publishers, not people who hate Google who follow me on Twitter. And used to be like, biggest takeaway for me is like, if I posted a poll on Twitter like 2 years ago, I would get like 1,000 plus responses. Now I'm getting like close to like 350. And this is a hot topic, so I would think we'll get more responses. But
Twitter is dead.
Yeah.
Twitter is dead.
Everything is dead. Talking about dead, Frankenstein. Is he dead or alive?
No, he's alive. He's not screaming. It's dead.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
Google
Frankenstein is dead, but Frankenstein's monster is alive.
Anyway,
Whatever.
He's very much alive in Google's personal intelligence because remember we covered the Frankenstein recipes generated by AI Mode and AI Overviews, where it would basically say, yeah, here's a recipe from our friends over at Inspired Taste. And this amount of water, this amount of lemon, this amount of cook time, and then you have your recipe. But the truth is, it's not. So the same thing is happening in personal intelligence. The problem with personal intelligence is that it really is wow. If you look at Google, like this personal intelligence is insane. So if you look at Glenn Gabe's article, he did a really, really big deep dive on it, really good one. And you read it and you go like, wow, this is amazing. Like, and I'm trying to play with it myself. I don't have access to it yet, Workspace account, but it's amazing. It really personalizes everything based off of your history. And it makes you go like, wow, this is my real assistant. It really knows a lot about me and I trust it. But if you went ahead and got a key lime pie recipe from personal intelligence from Google, it would actually go ahead and tell you that since I visit Inspired Taste every day to get really great butter sandwich recipes, it thinks I like Inspired Taste. It'll give me a recipe for key lime pie from Inspired Taste. And it says here, since you frequently visit, this is from Glenn Gabe, since you frequently visit Inspired Taste, their key lime pie recipe is the best place to start. And then it gives you the key lime pie recipe from Inspired Taste. The problem is Adam Gallagher from Inspired Taste said, hey, no, this is not a recipe. You got it wrong. We add more lime juice. We like to add cream, which isn't listed here, and it's called our secret recipe. We like to call for 5 egg yolks. And it says here, use 3. The bake time is completely wrong on here. And they don't link to us anywhere, so you can't even validate this. So it's really, really bad because you're getting a really personalized answer that looks legit, and Google's Frankensteining it for you, and it's giving you the wrong information. So when you go ahead and when Glenn spends the next 30 minutes cooking this key lime pie recipe, and then it comes out bad, he's going to blame Adam, and it's not Adam's fault. It's Mr. Frankenstein's fault at Google.
Wow, that is crazy. Can I ask a crazy question?
Yeah.
Let's say, like, I don't know, you get divorced, and then you ask personal intelligence, like, who should I hang out with tonight? And it goes to your emails and then recommends your ex-wife. Because that's all you're, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. It's kind of scary. It's like when like these tools of social networks will send you like, reminders about people who are deceased, like wishing them happy birthdays and stuff. It's scary. But APIs can fix it all. Maybe, probably not, but that's my bad segue to a new.
Yeah. I understood the segue. Right, anyway, so yesterday, the 28th of Jan, Google released their version 23 of the Google Ads API. First release of 2026. Key features is ad network type breakdown for Performance Max. You've got a new type that can now return more granular details in your invoice, including campaign level cost breakdown. You can specify start and end time for certain campaign types. Store locations are now available in per store view, and many more. So yeah, loads of new updates in terms of like reporting and campaign type visibility. So yeah, check that out.
Awesome. So yeah, make sure to upgrade that on your end. And then on the Microsoft side, they've announced earnings last night. And their stock, I think, is way down. Let me just quickly check. MSFD, it's before hours, but it's down. Wow. $32, about 7%. And after hours, we're recording this. But who knows what will happen after the market opens. But I like to track their Microsoft advertising line, and they don't give you much information. They say search and news advertising revenue, excluding traffic acquisition costs, increased 10%, meaning they're up about 10%, 9% if you use constant currency. But the previous quarter, they were up 16%. The previous quarters before that, the previous 3 quarters before that was 21%. It's the lowest quarter ever was like during COVID times when it was like 8% up, and they're kind of creeping back down to that 8% mark where growth is not growing as much. So I don't know. This might be a scary trend. I'm not sure. We'll see. Google's earnings, I think, is next week at some point, so we'll take a look at that. But yeah, I mean, then Microsoft is just not doing well overall when it comes to their AI initiatives and cloud. I think everything is just a big mess there right now. So I'm expecting them to hire Morty to fix everything.
I can't fix Microsoft.
Oh, that's a shame.
Sorry, I don't have my. Do you have Microsoft on your computer? I don't have it anymore. I just use Google Sheets.
I have it. Yes, I have it. I don't use it. I have it, and I pay for it every year just to support them because I like to support companies with my dollars.
Oh yeah,
they support
they're
you
struggling.
like
They're struggling really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have your picture, a valued customer.
Yeah, we still make billions of dollars. It's all good. Anyway,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. We're back next week with more. It's new. Make sure to check out the respective channels: PPC Live, SE Ranking, and Marketing O'Clock. Hope Greg's doing well.
Oh, Greg.
Sure
Yeah, he's probably stuck helping someone. I hope he's not going to run over. That'll be horrible. He's always helping someone with a car.
He's helping a frozen whale in a lake or something. I don't know. Bye.
We love you, Greg.
Stuck under the ice. We need to open a channel to the lake. Hang on, girl. Come on. Almost there. Warm water to keep the skin from freezing. All right. Push. Go. There she goes. Yes, she's free.